Hi everybody, I'm Justin from Mainman Bassing. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use an inline fishing reel. I'm going to feature the 1-3 Fishing Black Betty 6061. If you're new to the channel, I do product reviews, fishing adventures, and how-to videos that all revolve around bass fishing in the Northeast, even in the winter. If you're into fishing, I'd love to have you as a sub, so hit that subscribe button. If you like to own the 1-3 Fishing Black Betty 6061, which I recommend, I love this reel now. I just used it today. There'll be Amazon links in the description box. You can click the link and take it from there. Inline fishing reels, I'm just getting started with them now this season and for ice fishing, and I'm starting to realize that I think they're a necessity. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to use a spinning reel again. And why I like this inline model particularly is because essentially, you can jig in free spool. I'm in free spool right now. Right, so what that allows the bass to do is take the bait, turn it, and run. That's free spool. That's not pulling drag. That's free spool. There's zero pressure on that, right? So that allows the bass to complete its objective of striking the bait, turning, and eating it, right? And then from there, you'd clamp down, you'd stop the spool from spinning, engage the reel, and then set the hook. All right, that's why I think this model in particular is amazing, and I'm going to be looking for ones that are just as good or better, and I'm going to recommend them when I find them. But for now, this is great, and I highly recommend it. Alright, so I went out on the lake today, and I was trying to do this video. I didn't like the way it came out, but while I was demonstrating it, I actually caught a really nice bass. And I'm going to look like an amateur because my drag wasn't set correctly, but that's not important. What's important was the hook set, and I didn't show it on film, but it was a perfect hook set. Like, I just did what I explained to you a second ago, and it worked beautifully. This front hook of this Rip and Wrap 5 was buried under the tongue of the bass, right in the middle of the mouth. It was absolutely perfect, and that's why I think that these are just you have to have them. And I think you have to fish with them. And I'm going to be fishing with them from now on. So anyways, let me show you the bass. I'll come back and I'll show you how to use the buttons. And I'll demonstrate it. And I'll talk more about why I love it. All right? So here's the fish. The bass. There's a fish. There's a fish. There's a fish. Let's see. And now you got to clamp it down. See, this is... Oh my gosh. It's a giant bass, dude. Oh my gosh. I gotta get him out of this one. See, I could set that hook because it gave him, I can't believe this, it gave him a chance to take it. And that's what I've been missing before. I'm getting good hook set, I could pull it through. I know it wasn't great. See, I gave him a chance to take it so then I could clamp down on it and set the hook. And I'm still working on this, but that's what these things are for. It was a good hook set, he wasn't going anywhere, I could pull him in, okay? My line snapped but look at this. Look at this bass. I mean, how fun is that to catch through the ice, right? Just, these things are necessary. My little buddy. Okay, I'm gonna give you close-ups now. You have to bear with me. I wanna get it in the light for you, and then we have to zoom in or focus. Oh my goodness, that's gonna irritate me. All right, so all right, on the inlines you have a free fall button, and when you hit that, your lure is gonna fall. All right, that's how you place your bait. You have over here, you have a tension knob dial. It's the same thing as the tension knob on a baitcaster. When the reel is in free spool, you can tighten it and it will slow the fall of the lure. and you can loosen it and the lure will fall faster. All right. And then on this model, you have your dead stick indicator, and you can turn it on, and then when you put it in free spool, and that's the magic, you can jig it. You can actually jig it in free spool and then let it rest, and when the bass takes it, it'll take it, swim away with zero pressure. Okay, it's amazing. It's like I wish I'd known about this last year. And as it swims away, you can clamp down on the spool, and that will stop it, engage the reel with the handle, and then set the hook. And so let me turn for you a little, and I guess I'll just demonstrate it. And I want to show you too here. Let me give you, right, like here's the spool right here. Let me put it in free spool. Let me turn this off. You can see it spin. See it spin? All right. So that's important. And on this side, there's a little guard to rest your palm against, so it won't touch the spool. And you have a little opening right here where you can touch the spool. Okay. Oh, I should probably hold it like that so you can see it. Little opening right here where you can touch it, but this is going to guard it so that it can free spool. Right, let me focus. All right, so you're going to engage the free spool. It'll drop. Once there, it'll drop. I turn off the dead stick. All right, and you can put your palm on that spool to stop it. You get it at the height you want, right? And then you throw your dead stick on, and you press the free spool again, and now you're chilling. Now you can jig. You can jig. It's pretty dope. Like, you can jig by holding the line gently with 2 fingers, and you can do these big rips. In free spool, you can do these big rips. You don't have to hold the line. You can be completely free spool and just do little pops, and it won't go anywhere if your lure has action with little pops. So that's one way. The other way you can do it is just hold the spool with your fingers, do your big rips, and then ease off, right, when you're ready to just let the bait free, like just sit there, right? And then the bass will take it, right? Starts to take it with no pressure. We're in free spool, not drag, okay? And then you can clamp down on it, engage the reel, and if you need to set the hook, but a lot of times because it's toke the bait, it puts it in his mouth and turns, you don't need that much, you don't need a whopping hook set, right? I mean, you can, it doesn't hurt, I guess, but I'm working on 6-pound line here. A lot of people probably have 4 or 5-pound line ice fishing, right? So, that's kind of the whole point of the system, is to be fragile yet get a really good hook set. And this thing does an amazing job. What I didn't mention, right, when I was talking about the buttons, was there's the drag star. And interestingly, I have the drag star as tight as I can get it right now. Drag's not that tight. Here, let me turn that off. All right, like, drag's not that, it's not like a bait caster with 30 pounds of drag pressure. I mean, I think the whole point of this is to have a real fragile system that can get a really good hook set, and that you can have your lure work its action with thin line and bring it up through the ice without breaking or cutting, right? So that's how the Inline works. I highly recommend this. It's in the description box. I would pick it up without even thinking about it. I'm done with spinning reels, because what happens with spinning reels is, okay, you can use a soft rod and then ease off on your drag, and that will allow it to to take the bait a little bit and set it. But the problem that I find with bass, and I like catching big bass, is that these lighter, you need backbone. Like, this is a medium heavy. You need some decent backbone to catch that bass, to bring that bass in. and set the hook. So I would have mine, if you're like me, I had my drag set relatively tight. But when the bass goes to bite it with a tight drag, there's nowhere to go. Like he can't complete, the bass cannot complete its objective. There's nowhere for it to go. So it'll, one, give up on the bait and spit it. Or if you're like me, I was not smart. As soon as I felt that tug, I would rip it, right? And I'd rip it right out of its mouth. Sometimes I'd catch him. Well, I caught 20 of them, right? But they weren't good hook sets. The only reason I brought them through the ice is because they were holding on to the bait and they wouldn't give it up. I didn't have a real hook set. So this mechanism allows a good hook set. It allows the bass to complete its objective, take the bait, turn, and then you have more time to set that hook and more of a chance, more surface area, more of the fish's mouth to get a good connection and pin it up. All right, so yeah, I love these things. I'm glad I have them. Like I said, I'm just starting now. I did a review on the Black Betty. I highly recommend it. I'm going to be looking for more that are just as good quality or better, or have a better reputation. And so check the channel for those. If you're new, subscribe. I'd love to have you. Yeah, I mean, I hope it helped. I hope it gave you good perspective. And I hope wherever you are, you catch a real big bass soon. Thank you. Bye.